Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going on a bit of a journey. We're pitting Google's absolutely massive, hype-filled launch day marketing against, well, reality. A brutally honest 6-month side-by-side field test against its biggest rival, the iPhone 17 Pro. We constantly look at specs on a page, but what actually happens when the honeymoon phase wears off? Let's find out. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Pixel 10 hype. 2. 6 months later. 3. Where the Pixel actually wins. 4. Where the iPhone takes the crown. And 5. The harsh reality of ecosystem lock-in. All right, Section 1, the Pixel 10 hype. 33. Honestly, that's a pretty wild number. Right out of the gate, the Pixel 10 series was available for pre-order in 33 countries. That includes Mexico for the very first time, which is a huge deal. Google clearly wanted this flagship in as many hands as physically possible on day one. Talk about signaling some serious confidence in their hardware, right? And their pitch was incredibly ambitious. They heavily positioned this as their most helpful phone ever. Powered by the brand new Tensor G5 chip and running that Gemini Nano on-device model, Google promised complex generative AI right there in your pocket. We're talking real-time call translation, proactive info with Magic Q, visual help with Gemini Live. I mean, on paper, it's literally the ultimate smart companion. Moving on to Section 2, 6 months later. This is where we get our crucial reality check, courtesy of enthusiast reviewer Sahil Arora from Isle Gaming. He actually carried both of these phones, the Pixel 10 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro, in his pocket at the exact same time for 6 straight months. And he hit the nail on the head. A 2-week review simply cannot uncover those tiny, hidden quality of life differences. You literally have to live with these devices. Section 3, where the Pixel wins. So if you were blindfolded, Sahil noted you would identify the pixels instantly, just by holding it. The weight distribution, the finish, the overall grip, it just feels like a meticulously considered premium object. Honestly, almost like a luxury watch. The iPhone 17 Pro, perfectly well built, sure, but it kind of felt flagship generic by comparison. Now, durability presents this incredibly fascinating trade-off. The Pixel's body is physically tougher against drops. It actually survived completely naked falls without a single dent, whereas the iPhone suffered frame dents even while it was wearing a case. No way, right? But if you go caseless with the Pixel, you're trading off screen scratch resistance. The Pixel picked up visible micro scratches on the glass, while the iPhone screen brushed them off way better over the 6 months. For all you selfie lovers and social media creators out there, the Pixel 10 Pro definitively takes the crown here. The front camera is noticeably sharper. It totally avoids that heavy AI smoothing that tends to make iPhone selfies look a bit, well, plastic. If front-facing video is your jam, the Pixel is the clear winner. And you know what? Google's AI suite actually delivers on its everyday promises. Tools like Call Screen, Live Translate, Magic Eraser, these aren't just gimmicky party tricks. They're features you actually find yourself wanting to use. Plus, swipe typing on the Pixel just felt notably faster and more fluid. Google's software magic really shines when you're just going about your day. Okay, Section 4, where the iPhone wins. Let's talk about the unsung heroes of daily phone use, a reliable connection and immersive speakers. These might seem like super minor specs on paper, but they are absolutely massive advantages when you live with a phone daily. The iPhone clung to Wi-Fi signals in those annoying household dead spots where the Pixel just consistently dropped out. And the iPhone speakers, incredible spatial audio with actual punchy bass, while the Pixels were deemed merely acceptable. So, we hear so much about AI, right? But here is a highly relatable question for us. Does the phone actually learn your daily habits? Specifically, how does it handle adjusting your screen brightness in a totally dark room? It's always those little irritations that quietly push you toward a competitor. Get this, for 6 straight months in dim environments, the Pixel 10 Pro dimmed the screen lower than the reviewer actually liked. He manually corrected it every single time, and the so-called smartphone never learned his preference. The iPhone adapted almost instantly. That constant daily friction really adds up. And while the Pixel totally won the selfie battle, the iPhone's rear camera consistency makes it the undisputed king of video creation. We're talking superior dynamic range and 4K ProRes for real professional editing. Plus, the iPhone's display punches through harsh, direct sunlight way better, so you can actually see what you're filming outside. But hey, to be completely fair and impartial here, the iPhone is definitely not perfect either. Take the highly hyped, heavily marketed Action button. The reviewer found it completely useless. Over the entire 6 months, he couldn't find a single daily workflow that made him actually want to press it. It essentially just sat there, acting as a very premium fidget toy. Finally, Section 5, the ecosystem reality. Think about the subtle difference between passive and active interaction. With the iPhone's Face ID, it unlocks completely passively as you pick it up. By the time your hand is ready to answer a call, you're already in. The Pixel, though, requires an active fingerprint scan just to answer a locked call. Over hundreds of interactions every single day, that seamlessness on the iPhone really accumulates. Ultimately, it's these invisible threads that tip the scales. Social apps like Instagram, just slightly more intuitive and stable on iOS. Gamers get the highly curated Apple Arcade. Cross-device sharing with AirDrop is beautifully seamless, and Apple Photos proved faster at indexing. It's the compounding effect of all these tiny efficiencies. So, despite desperately wanting the Pixel's gorgeous hardware to win, the reviewer made his choice. The accumulated weight of the iPhone's absolute reliability, its solid Wi-Fi, app stability, and ecosystem convenience just forced his hand. He went back to the iPhone as his primary device, basically saying, "I think I deserve convenience now." Which leaves us with a final thought for you to take away from this explainer today. Does the perfect smartphone actually exist? The reviewer noted his absolute dream phone would be the Pixel's beautiful physical hardware running Apple's iOS software. But since that doesn't exist, we're stuck choosing. What are you willing to sacrifice for your own daily convenience? Think about that the next time you're due for an upgrade. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you on the next one.